Welcome to this video all about delivering consistent standards of spelling and grammar in your surveys. Doing great mystery shopping isn't easy. You know that better than anyone. You've got to read the brief, you've got to learn your role, use the technology, and so on. There's so much to do that it's understandable sometimes that the odd typo or spelling mistake might slip through on your report. This video is not about going back to school. Some of you might be English teachers, some might have degrees. For other people, English may not be your first language, or you may have other individual qualities like dyslexia, which means you've got to take a different approach. But whatever your foundation knowledge is, we know that all too often, spelling and grammar mistakes can slip through even with the best intentions. It may just be that you're whizzing through something and typing too fast. Just a simple slip of the pinky finger can make it all go wrong. Not to mention that flipping autocorrect. So even the sharpest of us sometimes need a bit of help to spot an error or a guide to show us where we've not written something well. So the good news is we've got 4 things that can help everyone, regardless of your starting point. Now, as you can see here, no matter how hard we've worked on this video, recording a voiceover, creating a lovely image, recording it all in 4K so it looks sharp, you are probably, right now, focusing on that terrible title. And quite right too. In fact, it's given me goosebumps just to look at it. But that's the challenge, you see. Our clients, they don't see how hard you work, in the same way as you haven't seen how hard we've worked to make this. And to be honest, you don't need to know how hard we've worked, do you? All you probably want to know is, how can this video help me? And exactly the same way, our clients just want to know how your survey can help them. But if we, and you, don't make sure that our spelling and grammar is good, it's distracting. It gets in the way, and it makes us look unprofessional. Right, I'm glad we've sorted that out. So here are 4 quick tips that could help you ensure that your spelling and grammar score is 100% every time. Let's have a look at each one and see how they can help. Now this one's a simple mistake to make and an even simpler one to sort out. When you're mystery shopping, you're likely to be making notes for later. So when you complete the survey, we'd like those notes written out into full sentences, as if you're writing a story. And that's because you are. We want to give our clients the quality they expect by writing in full about our experience with them. Here's an example of a common kind of error. So have a look at this sentence. The basic facts are here, but it's much nicer for the client to be able to read something like this. You see how a full sentence helps us understand your experience better. Incidentally, some surveys ask for a minimum number of sentences in certain sections. This is important to do because this will be a specific request from the client. So if it asks for 5 sentences, please check to make sure that you've written 5 full sentences. A good tip here is to read your survey comments out loud. Do they flow in the way that you'd like them to? And if you're struggling to think about what to write, pop over to the Shopper Academy and have a look at our video all about storytelling for some inspiration. Now, this is one word that we probably use more than any other when we're giving feedback about improving spelling and grammar. Grammarly is an app, and it's a tremendous help to spot typos, spelling errors, and sometimes grammar problems too. You can either use a free version, or you can sign up for a more comprehensive paid version if you do lots of writing. You install it as an extension in your browser, you can download it as an app, you can use it on your computer, your mobile, anywhere. And basically, it sits in the background and it reviews what you're writing as you write it. If you've made a spelling mistake or, for example, put too many commas in, Grammarly will show you where the errors are and make suggestions. It even picks up on double spaces too, which is a common mistake that we see. Sometimes, the free app will also show you suggestions to reword sentences, although I reckon they do that to tease you into buying the paid version. But we recommend downloading the free one, install it on your devices, and then get great suggestions and prompts immediately when you're writing those surveys. Oh, just bear in mind that the default setting of Grammarly might be set as US English. It's not infallible, so a good once-over is still always a good idea. And just a note here, Grammarly obviously isn't a Proinsight product, so we'd advise you to keep an eye on the T's and C's. But we've been using it for over a year, and it's been spot on. Right, next... hang on a minute. Sorry, let me just sort this out. That's better. Don't you hate it when people abbreviate things and you don't know what it's meant to say? Yeah, simple one this. Please avoid using abbreviations at all. Why do we say it all? Well, because even if it's a commonly known one, abbreviations actually disrupt your reading. And also, abbreviations can make your writing feel a bit too informal. After all, we are writing surveys for paying clients. We're not texting a mate. So here are some examples of commonly used abbreviations and a preferable alternative. Punctuation may be a tiny thing, but it makes a difference. How much difference? Have a look at this.
Oops.
Now, as we said, we're not proposing to go back to school here, but things like punctuation, spacing, using the right apostrophes, they can mean the difference between an unprofessional-looking survey and a great one. So here are a few basic punctuation rules. You probably know most of them anyway, but hopefully there might be one or two here that you can review to make your writing even better. And after all, it can be helpful sometimes to revisit the basics every now and again. These will fire up quite quickly on the screen, so please pause each one, make a note of what's helpful, and then carry on to the next one. So here's a reminder of the 4 key areas and a couple of top tips for each one to help you get 100% for spelling and grammar every time. There you go, 4 areas you can work on to ensure you deliver great spelling and grammar. Now obviously, these are skills that you can develop, but done well, they make such a difference and can ensure that our clients see how truly professional you and we are. If you have any queries or you need any further help, please don't hesitate to contact your program coordinator or your project manager. For tips and best practice on the other 4 stars areas, have a look at our Shopper Academy. And finally, thank you so much for what you do. It really matters. Thank you.